Ari Garber with Personality on MeetAdvisors.com. Super excited today, joined by Jim Karras, who I have met at a charity event or two over the years here in Chicago, but never really had an in-depth conversation. And so first of all, welcome, Jim.
Thanks, good to be here.
I'm really excited that you're joining us today. And it's particularly auspicious, recognizing that the internet might see this video at any time. We're in January of 2015, and Jim, who is a 5-time New York Times best-selling author, 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct? 2 weeks ago, debuted his 6th book, and I'm willing to lay good money down that this is his 6th New York Times bestseller.
I like sending that energy out there, yeah. So I like that.
Good karma here. Tell us about the book.
Sure. I never intended to write a 6th book. After my 5th, I was somewhat done, and then a lot of really compelling research passed in front of me, because that's what I spend a lot of my time doing, which is researching. And the name of the book is The Ultimate Diet Revolution. The nickname for the book is Rev. And the definition of a revolution really is a complete change in thought, a complete change in belief that ultimately is so compelling that the masses follow. That's why we chose that name for the book, because I seriously think, and I've written 5 books in the past, and I've been in this business for 28 years, that a lot of the information I've given in the past was wrong, because the research has proved it to be wrong. So that's why I decided to go for it with book 6 and write about the revolution.
So you're scrapping your old books, so I don't have to buy them.
Not scrapping them. No. You can buy them. No. But really and truly, there's 3 bits of information that this book contains that I think are the most provocative. Number 1, completely shut down the snacking, Ari. I was a proponent of the 5 to 6 small meals a day, eat the 3 meals and the 3 snacks, and keep the digestion going, stoke the metabolic furnace, and that is absolutely positively wrong.
And is it not just snacking, but I do 6 small meals a day, or are you going back to 3?
That. Go back to 3. Go back to what we did in the 50s, when everyone was much thinner. And the reason behind it is twofold. Number 1, people snack on too much food. We're just not eating the 5 to 6 small meals, we're eating 5 to 6 big meals. Nobody eats 12 almonds, they eat 112. So this is number 1 problem.
Rub it in, Jim. Rub it in.
I'm not rubbing it in. Number 2 is, and that's more of the practical aspect. Number 2 is a little bit more physiological. It has to do with hormones. Hormones are a big issue in the book, because you create a hormonal environment that either allows your body to successfully shed fat. You don't want to just shed weight, you always want to shed fat. Unfortunately, a lot of diets have you shed muscle and water, which is what you don't want.
Right.
And what happens is when we eat anything, that food is converted into blood sugar, glucose. And that glucose then is either stored in our liver, our muscles, or our cells to hopefully be used for activity, unfortunately for many people to be stored as body fat. The way that glucose gets into your cells is through the hormone insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. Think of insulin as the drawbridge that allows the sugar to go into the cell. If you keep eating, you will have insulin surging throughout your bloodstream. When you go on a diet, the goal is to open up your fat storages and use that for fuel. If you're telling your body to store everything, you're never going to get to the fat storages. So people wonder, why isn't this diet working for me? Most likely, hormonally, you've told the diet not to work for you because you've got a storage hormone racing throughout your body. Shut down the insulin, open up the fat storages, lose the fat.
So do you have a magic pill for this, or just a magic
pill is real food. 3 real meals. Stop running out of the house eating yogurt. Stop calling a power bar lunch. Eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner. I give you 28 days of eating. It's protein, carbohydrate, fat, and fiber. It definitely has worked. We've had 2 test groups we did here in Chicago. And miraculously, the average person on the diet, both times we did the 28-day test group, was 14 pounds. And 14 pounds of fat. Which brings me to my second point, and that is never cleanse. If you want to go on these crazy cleanses, the first one was with Beyonce and getting in shape for Dreamgirls. And it's interesting, I was working with Hugh Jackman at the time, who was one of my clients, and he was telling me how she was doing this crazy diet, and it was the master cleanse, molasses and maple syrup and all of these things. And what they do is put your body in complete metabolic shutdown.
Right.
You shed your muscle, you shed your metabolism, and then you're really giving yourself a tough road. Even if you go back to your pre-cleanse eating, you're going to gain weight, whereas before you were maintaining, simply because your metabolism has diminished. So this book about Rev, the revolution, is revving your metabolism back up, and the things such as spice can boost your metabolism, putting your body in the proper hormonal balance can do it, eating 3 meals a day, sleeping 7 to 8 hours at night. Do you know you should never attempt a diet if you're sleep deprived? The research shows you will shed almost 75% of the weight you lose will be muscle, 25% will be fat. And when you lose that muscle, you lose your metabolism, you lose your Rev. So those are 2 of the eating highlights of the book. The big exercise one, my 3rd book was called The Cardio-Free Diet.
Right.
I originally, remember that? We chatted about that. Originally the book was called Cardio Kills, and that's because I believe classic cardiovascular exercise kills your weight loss goals. So again, in the Ultimate Diet Revolution, I have you doing a strength training program, an interval-based strength training program with a new product actually created called Revved Glides, which are gliders you put on your feet or your hands, which takes all the momentum out of strength training. You see so many people strength training like this, they're only hurting their joints. When you take the momentum out, you challenge the body, you build your lean muscle tissue, you boost your metabolism.
I remember being put on a slider board by my trainer
There you go.
to use that.
There you go.
I'm 40 years old now, and my joints just can't take it anymore.
Right.
And
That's
I
right.
love that.
That's right.
You've touched on a couple of things, which I think is one of the reasons I've invited you in here today, because you're very methodical and you bring an academic basis and a scientific basis to this. It is not the latest fad. In fact, you're redefining it.
Right.
You're revolutionizing it. Interesting to our business audience is that you and your staff of trainers and all the facilities, and you're all over Chicago now, and congratulations on your success. It's holistic. It's about lifestyle management and wellness. Can you talk to us a little bit about anything revolutionary you're doing there with your clients?
Sure, I think 2 of the big things I touched upon, one which is sleep, and that if you are chronically sleep deprived, again, from a hormonal, from a pure energy level standpoint, my 4th book was called The 7-Day Energy Surge. You just can't you don't have the energy to make the right choices. You don't have the energy to work out with intensity. You are really behind the 8 ball all day. So you really want to look at sleep. You've got to look at stress. Stress is, the deep breathing and the benefits of deep breathing, the benefits of meditation, the benefits of what to give your client. When I look at you today, it's what does Ari need today? Do you need a really hard workout? Do you need some good nutritional advice? Do you need deep breathing? Do you need some tender loving care? Do you know what I'm saying? What do you need?
Sign me up for the entire checklist.
For the whole thing.
Right?
So we try to always bring a comprehensive approach. I'm the oldest and largest personal fitness training firm in Chicago. We have a little training we also do in New York, and also all over the country. We travel with clients. It's a big business these days, yes.
Well, and congratulations on further territorial expansion. Talk to me a little bit about corporate wellness programs. What are you seeing with your corporate folks and how you're addressing?
It's so simple. That's a great question. It starts with your CEO. I just have to tell you, if the CEO is our client individually, he and his wife or whatever, very often we will then get ourselves into the corporate environment. And it's making it applicable to that group. If you have a group of 20-somethings, don't bring them the information you're bringing 50-somethings. It's a different situation. You have to understand the environment that you're in and how to go about servicing them effectively, because very true, one size does not fit all.
And I have to tell you, just about every guest I have on my show that says something that resonates with me is about relationships and applicability in this specific context.
Correct.
And that's what I love. Before we go, there is one other thing which I know you and your firm is doing, which I just find fascinating. And I know you use it with your children. And one of these days I'm going to come over and you and I are going to do it together.
Okay.
But talk to us about cryotherapy. I know Tony Robbins is talking about it. Tim Ferriss is talking about it.
What he has sent us, what Tony and Tim have sent us in terms of their podcasts and their information, that has been the bomb for us. I must thank them if I ever meet them.
Credits.
Tony, I have met. And literally, I hurt my Achilles almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
I never know how I did it. I woke up one morning limping. I tried everything imaginable. It was a hairline tear. It wasn't something that could be fixed by surgery or anything. I just had to kind of live with it. Well, I couldn't stand it. It was about 8 months I was limping all over the place, and I give a lot of speeches. So you don't look like a lifestyle expert when you come limping on the stage. So I had a friend who said to me, "Have you tried cryotherapy?" That's C-R-Y-O, therapy. Cryo is the word for cold in Greek, and I'm Greek. And so I went to the cryotherapy place in Los Angeles, which is actually where I ultimately bought the equipment. Went 5 days in a row in the big chamber that's up to your neck for 3 minutes, where you get frozen down to between 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit when we shoot you with a gun. And that starts all these great benefits to the body of repairing muscles and joints, reducing inflammation, boosting your metabolism, boosting your collagen production as we we all age. Collagen is what starts to break down, and it helps with depression even. Then we have an individual wand where they would wand my Achilles with this. It's a cold stream of liquid nitrogen that becomes gas, and they would put it right on the area, shooting it again with the gun to make sure we bring you really close to frostbite.
Okay,
so it's
I'm
way
hearing
colder
about
than
the
you could ever
benefits,
guess.
Jim, but is this really painful? Does this suck?
No, it's dry cold.
Okay.
It's the cold baths are brutal. We have cubs and socks, and we have bulls, all of them coming in all the time saying the 45-minute ice bath is the most miserable 45 minutes of my life. This 3 minutes, and we have pretty girls who run the cryo spa, so that always helps that they chat with you while you're in there, sitting there in your underwear with 2 pairs of socks and 2 pair of gloves on. Really makes a difference in how you feel. It's been a great business so far.
I am super excited to try it. We're running short on time here, so before you leave, can I extract from you a promise to do cryo with me?
Sure.
And let's see if my diet and exercise after reading your book works out. Can I sucker you into committing to coming back in 6 months?
I'd be happy to.
That would be great. Before we go, if people are looking to find you and your fantastic staff of trainers, or even your cryotherapy torturers,
check us out at our website is Jim Karas, my name, KARAS.com.
Okay.
And we're also ChicagoCryoSpa.com. And if you Google anything, if you Google my name, Jim Karas, everything that you need will come up.
And obviously we can find you on Amazon now.
Correct. Barnes & Noble, the whole shebang. Walmart. And so we'll see.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Good being here. I
appreciate
it.
Thank you.